They said hell was fire. They said it was demons and screams in the dark. But Marx, if he could walk through this place, would tell you it's something else. Here, the flames are not born from sulfur. They burn in the eyes of the workers, who no longer know why they work. The screams are not from the torture of mythical creatures. They are the silent cries of men and women who have become tools, cogs, extensions of machines that will never care about them. This is the inferno of alienation, a place where you can live, breathe, and still be dead inside. Picture it, a city that never sleeps, but not because its people are alive with joy. It's because they are chained to production. The streets are endless conveyor belts. The buildings are factories without windows. The air tastes of smoke and forgotten dreams. Here, no one asks why. They only ask how much and how fast. Marx would point to the faces, not twisted in horror, but blank, erased. They belong to people who no longer see themselves in what they create. They rise before the sun, work until the stars are long gone, and yet what they make does not belong to them. Every product is stolen twice, first from their hands and then from their very sense of self. The world calls it progress. Marx calls it theft. You think this is just about money? No, money is just the mask. The real hell is deeper. It's waking up each day to sell pieces of your life, hours you will never get back, for something that will never fill the void it leaves. It's building a world you cannot touch, feeding a machine that devours you one paycheck at a time. And here's the cruelest part. In this hell, you don't realize you're burning. You think it's normal. You think everyone lives like this. They give you just enough pleasure to keep you alive. A night at the bar, a cheap vacation, a new phone, distractions, illusions of freedom. But behind them is the same chain, just polished and hidden. Marx once wrote that under capitalism, everything solid melts into air. In this hell, you can see it happen. Friendships dissolve under competition. Families fracture under the weight of endless bills. Your identity, your morals, your purpose, all evaporating into the invisible steam that powers the machine. You look around and everyone's smiling in advertisements, but no one smiles in the streets. The walls here are made of contracts you didn't read. The floor is paved with your unpaid overtime, and above you there's no sky, only the giant, spinning gears of an economy that doesn't know your name, only your output. In this inferno, the devil doesn't carry a pitchfork. He wears a suit. He shakes your hand. He offers you opportunity, and all he asks in return is your life, piece by piece, until you are nothing but a ghost wandering between deadlines. You might be thinking, but this is just life, isn't it? That's the trick. They've taught you to call your chains responsibility and your exhaustion ambition. And so you work, and the fire inside you turns to ash. And here's the secret Marx would whisper to you as the machines roar above. Hell is not a place you go to after you die. Hell is the system that makes you forget you're alive. You keep walking through this place and you realize something chilling. There is no gate here, no entrance to cross, no moment when you suddenly find yourself trapped. You're already inside before you even know it. The path starts with small compromises. A job you don't love but pays the bills. A few extra hours because that's how you get ahead. A promotion that comes with a golden chain instead of a key. One day you look up and the walls are already around you. Marx would tell you, this hell doesn't need fire to keep you from escaping. It needs routine. It needs the slow grind of days that all look the same. Because sameness kills the imagination, and without imagination, you can't see another way to live. That's the real prison. Not the bars of steel, but the bars inside your head. The corridors here are lined with advertisements. They don't scream threats. They whisper promises. Work harder and you'll have this. Buy this and you'll be happy. But every promise here is a mirage. You chase it until your legs collapse, and then they replace it with another brighter one. In this economy of illusions, satisfaction is forbidden, because a satisfied worker is a dangerous worker. Look closely at the people here. They don't speak in ideas, they speak in numbers. Salaries, deadlines, prices, percentages. Even their emotions are monetized. Weddings become business opportunities for the wedding industry. Grief becomes a sale for the funeral industry. Love itself becomes a commodity wrapped in chocolate boxes and diamond rings. When everything is for sale, nothing is sacred. In the center of this hell, there's a market square. But it's not a place of free exchange, it's an auction. House where lives are bid on. The loudest voices are the ones selling time, labor, even identity. A man stands there selling his back to lift someone else's fortune. A woman sells her patience to listen to insults she can't answer. And no one notices that the auction never ends, because here, you are both the seller and the product. Marx's words echo in the smog. Workers of the world, unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains. But here, even unity has been broken. They pit one against the other. The employee against the unemployed. The citizen against the immigrant. The desperate against the equally desperate. And while they fight, the machine keeps running, powered by their division. You feel a strange heat on your skin, not from flames, but from the friction of constant effort. The machine demands it. The never-ending grind, the need to stay competitive, the invisible race you were entered into at birth and will never win. And you see it now. This is not hell because it's violent. It's hell because it's endless. Some here believe in escape. They speak of winning the lottery, starting a business, making it big. But in Marx's eyes, that's just a different tier of the same prison. The guards become prisoners with nicer cells. The luxury doesn't erase the bars. It just blinds you to them. And if you ask them, why not stop the machine? They'll look at you with fear. Because the machine is all they know. Without it, they wouldn't know how to live. And so they feed it, even as it consumes them. Hell, in Marx's vision, is not chaos. It's order. Perfect, mechanical, inhuman. Order. Every cog in its place. Every hand busy. Every dream postponed until death. And the worst part, the machine doesn't hate you. It doesn't even know you exist. You move deeper, and the air here grows heavier. Not with smoke, but with resignation. It's the weight of millions who've accepted that this is life, that this is all there is. They walk with their heads slightly bowed, not because someone told them to, but because years of compromise have bent their necks. In this part of the inferno, hope doesn't burn. It flickers weakly, just enough to keep them walking to work each morning. Marx would stop here, in the middle of this endless factory floor, and point at the faces. Do you see them? He'd say, they are not lazy, they are not weak. They are strong enough to carry the weight of a system that grinds them down, but they carry it for someone else's benefit. That is the cruel genius of this place. It convinces you that endurance is virtue, that obedience is pride, that suffering without complaint makes you noble. The sounds here are mechanical. Conveyor belts clanking, cash registers opening and closing, phones ringing with demands. The rhythm is hypnotic. People fall into step with it, matching their lives to the tempo of production. It's a music of control, and no one dares change the beat. Even creativity here is rationed, allowed, only if it can be sold. In one corner there's a massive mirror. At first you think it reflects the workers, but no, it only reflects the products they make. The workers themselves are invisible in it. This is the purest form of alienation. Your labor exists, your creations exist, but you do not. The product is more real than the person. Marx would remind you of his warning. The worker becomes poorer the more wealth he produces. Here wealth is piled high, towering skyscrapers of gold and steel. But the ones who built them live in cramped rooms, stacked on top of one another, with barely enough space to dream. It's not just inequality, it's erasure. And when someone breaks down, the system doesn't stop. It simply replaces them. Like a gear worn down by friction, they are removed and another is slotted in, without ceremony, without memory. The inferno swallows people whole and leaves no grave, only vacancies. There are those who try to rebel here, to fight back against the endless grind. But the system knows how to neutralize them. It offers them leadership positions, gives them titles, makes them feel important. And while they're busy enjoying their new privileges, they've been absorbed into the machine itself. The resistance becomes another part of the mechanism. As you walk, you notice the eyes. Even when they smile, they don't shine. They've been taught to smile for the customer, for the camera, for the sale, but never for themselves. Joy here is a tool, not a feeling. It's measured in units of productivity. The deeper you go, the more you realize this is not a temporary state. This is sustainable suffering. The machine is designed to run forever, fueled by the lives of those inside. And it will run until the very last worker gives their last breath. And even then, it will find a way to keep going. You feel the floor beneath you hum, as if the ground itself were alive with the vibration of work. And then you understand. This place is not built on rock or soil, it's built on human time. Every second you spend here becomes part of its foundation. Another brick in a city of lost hours. You reach the heart of it. The noise here is overwhelming. The grinding of gears, the hiss of steam, the constant hum of transaction. But there's something strange about the sound. If you listen closely, beneath the clamor, you can hear it. The faint rhythm of human hearts, beating in unison. Every pulse is synchronized with the turning of the machine, as if life itself has been rewired to serve it. In the center stands a colossal engine, black and shining, its surface engraved with the contracts, debts, and promises that keep this world spinning. It doesn't breathe fire, it breathes need. The more you feed it, the hungrier it gets. It has no eyes, no voice, no mind. And yet, it commands everything. This is the pure form of capital, stripped of all its disguises. It is not evil in the way stories tell of evil. It is worse. It is indifferent. Marx would put his hand on the iron and say, "This is the true devil, not a creature of temptation, but a system of necessity. It doesn't care if you live or die, only that you keep producing. It doesn't care if you love or despair, only that you keep moving. And if you stop, if even for a second you try to reclaim your time, the machine will feel your absence, and it will replace you." Around the engine you see people kneeling, not in worship but in exhaustion. Their heads hang low, their hands stained with the grease of decades. They do not pray for salvation. They pray for a little more strength to make it to the next day. This is what hell does when it's well designed. It makes you beg to keep suffering because the alternative is unthinkable. You search for an exit, but there are none. No gates, no ladders, no light breaking through, and then the truth hits you. The only way out is to stop feeding the engine. But to do that, you would need everyone to stop at once, to turn away together. And that's why this inferno is eternal. It keeps you too tired, too divided, too distracted to ever unite. You remember Marx's words echoing in the dark. The philosophers have only interpreted the world in various ways. The point, however, is to change it. But here, interpretation is endless and change is forbidden. Every attempt at transformation is absorbed into the engine, turned into a product, a slogan, a brand. Even rebellion becomes merchandise. You start to notice something else. The flames you expected to see aren't outside, they're inside the people. Small fires of desire, of identity, of purpose. And one by one, those fires are dimming. Not because they are blown out, but because they are used up, burned slowly until there is nothing left to burn, and then it hits you. This is why this hell doesn't need chains or whips. It burns you with your own energy, until all you are is ash that still moves. You don't collapse in one final moment. You fade. Piece by piece, year by year, you dissolve into the machinery. As you turn to leave, though there is nowhere to go, you realize the most terrifying thing of all. This inferno is not separate from the world above. It is the world above, hidden in plain sight. The streets, the offices, the screens, the endless noise of life, all just the upper floors of this same engine room. And somewhere, in the quiet between the gears, Marx's voice whispers, almost like a warning and a prophecy. Hell is not below you, Hell is wherever human labor is stolen, wherever human life is reduced to numbers, wherever the machine is fed with souls instead of steel. And until you see it for what it is, you will keep calling it normal. You open your eyes, but the sound of the engine is still there.